never ready.
I hit the buttons already. You're just
Damn
gonna have
you,
to deal.
Zeea.
You said I could.
I know. I know I did. Someday I'll be ready.
Never.
It's not OCD, it's ADHD.
ADHD.
I figure I'll just join with everyone else so I have it.
Okay.
I don't see us on the 11th. There I am. Be the first to comment. Gustavo and Todd Thompson are watching us. So don't pick your nose, Zeea. We're being watched.
It wasn't like this.
Don't pick your nose. So this is Snot Central continuity, where we're never going to get better.
Nope.
Unfortunately, the show comes on as night air comes in. So as soon as we start getting ready for the show, everybody starts sneezing. And
You sneeze.
And we start snotting. So we need to either change the show to 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, or do it at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon before the night starts changing. Because I'm now convinced it is when the night air comes in that you start sneezing.
And the night has fallen, and the snot has come.
Booger Beanie. It's your new name. Booger Beanie. I kind of like that. Booger
Like
Beanie.
me.
All right, so we're just letting people load on because we just came on. And Zeea will harmonize her sneezes for us while we wait. I got this cool dead man behind me.
Excuse me while I choose my snot.
I'll move this way. Mike Alderman is watching.
Damn allergy time. No kidding. Chris Michael is excited for the show. Yeah, you're coming in on a grand day, that's for sure.
Chris Michael's excited for the show.
I'm dying, as usual.
He is always dying. It's a state of.
Man, what has it been, 2 weeks now?
I think you're going on 3 weeks.
Ay.
To be perfectly, I think we've gone through spring with
I
you
think
like
it's time
this.
to just take me out back and shoot me in the head.
I would love to. Ford is watching.
Hi, Ford.
So we're loading up, guys. We have no Knicks tonight, thank God. We had the last night great game. Yay.
Woo-hoo. I don't watch.
They just have to win one more game and then they move on.
Woo-hoo.
So I think tonight must be a Rangers night.
So the weather is not hot up here. It's actually relatively cool.
Yeah, we're kind of cool.
Any Batman villains this evening?
I'm sure I have to have a Batman villain somewhere. That's almost too easy. We had a lot of Batmans.
Ford is sitting in the rain at the Phillies Mets game.
Oh no! Who's winning? Because Josh is probably watching that game. All right, so we're going to wait like 2 more minutes and then we'll start the show. I have a really cool dead man painting behind me that we haven't priced yet, but is going up for sale. Obviously, it's one of those Neal Adams dead man.
Oh, watch out, guys. Tommy Gunn has joined us.
Tommy Gunn is here. Oh, he's on Instagram, so I can't see him.
Yeah.
So,
hi, Sarah.
So this dead man painting behind us is large.
And in charge.
And it is signed by Neal, even though Neal painted over the N of his name.
A little bit.
But it is a cool dead man piece. So.
All right now.
New Bat villain.
Poke me while I'm down.
I have a Neal Adams, Neal original, a Batman on the tan paper with the bats. Did he do any of those on white paper? I collect black and white art. Batman on the tan paper with the bats. Oh, you're talking about the heads, probably. No, I'm thinking about it. It's a creamy paper. It's you're talking about like this kind of paper, right? We have a Batman head that's kind of like these, but it is different. Neal did most of there's a couple that are on white paper. Most of them Neal did on this creamy paper. To answer Chris Michael's question. Yes. So. All right. Well, I think we can probably kind of start.
Oh boy.
We'll start slow.
He said, okay, thank you.
All right. So does anybody have any questions? Let's get the questions out of the way. And then maybe we could get Zeea to pull into the Dead Man painting, or I could pull the Dead Man. Is it better for me to pull the Dead Man painting? Focus.
There we go.
So basically the Dead Man painting was pretty much done around the same time as the Green Lantern painting. You know, those really big paintings, Neal started kind of in a pop art style and then decided with that one Green Lantern with the ring, that he would make it a little bit more like the way he draws comics. So Dead Man is more within the style of how Neal draws comics, versus like those pop arty pieces he was doing. This is a little bit more realistic to superhero artwork. What is 42 is a good question. I don't know, Gustav. I don't even know what you're talking about. But this will be going up for sale. It's a really nice Dead Man. The colors on this are very rich. I believe Neal did ink this with that India ink with the other ones. Good face on Dead Man, as usual. But we're going to put this up for sale. So this is coming up. And if you want to find out more about it, you can always direct message us. I'll gladly answer any questions that anybody has on that. So the way the show works is we can talk any Neal Adams talk you would like within reason. I will answer old questions that I am knowledgeable about. You are with Kris, which is me, Zeea, who's behind the cameras.
Hi.
And we have worked with Neal for 11 billion years, besides being his oldest and youngest daughter. So we have been around Neal for a long time, and have worked with him every day. I mean, what's funny is, I'm lucky. I mean, there were times where I'm just like, who else works with both their parents every day?
A lot of people do, but
not 20 hours a day.
But how many people work with their parents who are not together, but they work together?
Yeah, but that didn't bother me. But how many people work with their parents? I don't think that many people work with their parents.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, we got to hang with our parents for a really long time. Most people, they go to college, maybe they come back home for a while, then they leave their parents, they get their first apartment, and you see your parents for like Christmas and Easter.
No, we go straight to work.
And we got to see our parents like every day for many, many, many more years than most.
Yeah.
On some days, it was a crime that we worked with our parents every day. But on other times, and I find myself very lucky that we did get to spend as much time with our parents as we did. So anyway, we will answer any questions. If you guys have questions about Neal or Neal's art or whatever, and if we can answer them, we will. And usually if we can't answer them, somebody on the show answers it. So because there are people on the show who are far more knowledgeable about what title is this or what page this was on and what panel it was.
Yeah, I remember being at a convention once, and this guy came over, and he asked me if I was Neal Adams' daughter. I said yes. And he goes, okay, well, what issue of Detective Comics did your father do in like 1970? I'm like, I don't know. Does it see you're not his daughter? I'm like, I think it's more proof that I am his daughter that I don't know. Because if I was like, an Uber fan, I would know every issue of everything that he did.
Right, that's true. That is true. So
Did you guys consider doing anything else? A burning desire to be an accountant or teacher? Well, I wanted to be a neurosurgeon, but that just wasn't in the cards.
You want to be a neurosurgeon?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I did have a hand at acting, which, boy, that was traumatic. What else? Did I try anything else? I don't even know.
I just went right into continuity. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I went right into continuity, but before I was old enough to work at continuity. Maryland says Big Bang.
Did you guys consider doing anything else? No. I thought for a while maybe I wanted to be a nurse. But then I was here. So.
See, I would consider being a nurse, but then I'd have to stick people with needles, and I can't do that.
No, I wanted to be a kid nurse.
Well, then you got to prick their fingers. That's
but I would be really
scream
good
and
at
cry.
it. Part of it comes from being in and out of hospitals as a kid, and if you have good doctors and good nurses that are really nice, it can be I would have to stay in the hospital for a week at times because I always had pneumonia as a kid. But you are a shrink.
I'm a shrink, or Kris is a shrink?
I'm not a shrink. I did family business before going into government. Wish I'd done it the other way around. Yeah. Family business is nice. I mean, as my kids are going into, one of my children is going into the corporate world, I'm starting to learn what corporate world is like. Well, that's a little rough.
Yeah. You're not kidding when they say dog eat dog world.
There are things about maybe working for the family that can be a little dicey at times, but I've also learned that living in the corporate world can easily be dicey at times. So 2 different worlds for sure. So anyway, the way the show works is in the comment bar, you would say, just like everybody is talking right now through the comment bars, you would say, oh, I'd like to buy that foil Batman comic. We would then notice you want to buy the foil Batman comic, or maybe I want to buy the non-foil Batman comic. We would notice that in the comment bar. We would go, hey, somebody's buying a Batman Z. We'll get your name on it. And then we'll ask you to go to the direct messages on Instagram and Facebook. And then give us, if you're on Instagram for sure, your real name besides the name you're using. And your address where I'm shipping to, and an email for us to then be able to send you the information in order to make a payment to us. Is that my foil edition? No, Gustavo. Your foil edition is over on the side.
And Sam wants to know, is there original art today? Yes,
Yes,
there is.
There is original. We're going to do Prince original art. And actually, I might just do original art first and then go into some Prince. And then we have CGCs. We're going to go a little bit longer tonight because
we're ghost hunting tonight.
Because we're ghost hunting at Continuity tonight, as well as we're at a convention this weekend at CradleCon out on Long Island.
The Cradle of Aviation Museum.
Right. So we're probably not going to do our Friday night show. because we won't be here Friday. So this is going to be our show for this week. So we will have so I'm going to start with original art. We'll probably do some prints and then do some CGCs and see where everybody's at and then see how the show goes. Okay, so remember again, comment bar is where you want to say, I'd like to buy that Batman. Make sure you give us information what you want to buy, because sometimes we have a lag and then we don't know what you're buying and then we have to wait for you to answer us. And it kind of holds up the show a little bit.
Hey, Benjamin.
Benjamin. Is that in Wyman?
That is in Wyman, yeah.
Wow, Benjamin's with us. Don't you know Benjamin Wyman got one of the coolest George Jetsons I've ever seen.
Yeah, Kris cried.
He has George Jetson that Neal drew George Jetson and did a really fantastic George Jetson, but then Z colored it and did a background on it, and it was like, oh my God, I want that George Jetson. So I'm very jealous. Two things I'm jealous of. Whoever got my Beetle Bailey.
Was it Benjamin that got the Beetle Bailey too?
No, it was not Benjamin that got Beetle Bailey. And George Jetson. So.
Well, whoever did get it, don't admit to it.
Right. Okay, so I am going to start with the Treasury size comic books. So some people have asked, do we still have them? I have a couple of copies left, and Gustavo, I do have your copy put to the side. We sell the foil. These are still being sold pretty much at cover price. We just kind of rounded it up a little bit. So the foil is $30 to buy, and the non-foil is $25 to buy. And these are blah, blah, blah. This is a facsimile edition of the Treasury size. Now, I don't remember what issue number. And it's not going to tell me. I guess it doesn't have an issue number. How does it not have an issue number?
They all know. They'll tell us.
But it is a Treasury size Razzle Gold Batman, and the limited collector's edition presents. Dun dun dun.
Sam Green has arrived. Watch out. Oh, Benjamin says, by the way, thanks for the background, Z. I was hoping for something like that. It looks awesome.
You don't deserve it, Benjamin, just so you know.
Well, you should also thank Kris, because she pointed me in that direction.
There you go. Like, I just love to torture myself. Here's a great background that'll make that piece really look great. And then I will cry before it leaves.
Yeah. Kris has me do things the way she wants to see it, and then everybody loves it. And then she has to cry because then she has to pack it up.
Right, I have to pack it. And I'm the one that has to pack it up and put my return address on it. Okay, so the regular edition of the Treasury is $25, and regular edition just means it doesn't have the foil, no reflective, it's just perfect the way it is. The foil one has a complete wraparound reflective foil on it. So if you're into foil, this is probably the biggest foil job I have seen yet in comics. It's very shiny. If you're into shiny things.
So Kris has good design instincts and then regrets it?
Yes, definitely.
I think she does it just because she just wants to see it done right in her eyes.
It looks pretty.
And then she kicks herself.
Yes. And then I torture the person who buys it for like the next 6 months till I forget about it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do some art.
You do some art?
To do some art. And Z and I would appreciate if you can share us with any other Neal Adams people out there that might like to buy from our show. All right, so Z is going to pull up. For those people on Instagram, if you have a Facebook, you might want to go over to the Neal Adams Comic Artist on Facebook, because it allows us to come in very tight and do these very cool pan and scans of the artwork. So you're really seeing the line better than you're seeing it right now. That is, you can get that on Facebook and you can get that on YouTube. Neal's YouTube is Neal Adams DOT COM. So nealadams.com, and it's NEAL. So you can see, once again, the Panda Skins are on YouTube and the Panda Skins are on Facebook. So Neal Adams Comic Artist on Facebook, Neal Adams dot, and you're spelling DOT, COM if you want to go to YouTube. Unfortunately, on Instagram, I just have a camera and not, and you don't get the Panda Skins with that.
Yeah, we tried the Instagram through StreamYard, but it wasn't letting us save the finished live videos for you guys to watch later. So we had to go back and do it the old-fashioned way.
Right. So Batman here that we're looking at is $2,800 to buy. It is an 8.5 by 11 Batman that is signed by Neal. And we talked about that this can be colored by Zeea. It doesn't have to be colored on the original art. What we do is kind of like on our commercial work, where we then make a copy on the same grade paper and then color that. So actually get your black and white pristine with a color version. And we talked about that if we were to color this one, we would want to do a huge kind of explosion thing behind Batman, because it's got all that smoky vapor stuff going on. And most of the time, all the Batmans we've done, he's always been kind of in the pouring rain or...
Well, he is still in puddles, but...
Right, but you can just say it's wet from the explosion.
Yeah. It's running through a pile of gasoline trying to beat the flame.
Right, exactly. Which we haven't done. We've never done a Batman with explosions behind him. So that, I'm waiting for who is brave enough to buy this and then have it colored, because just like George Jetson, this will be a masterpiece. Thank you, Gustavo. So $2,800 for the black and white original art. Again, it is 8.5 by 11. Original art can go on a payment plan where we ask for 1/3 down and then payments every month till it is paid off. There's no interest on it, and there's no penalties on it. And then when it's paid off, we ship it out.
We do request that it be within a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah, well, now it's monthly.
Yep.
So 8.5 by 11, Batman with a Neal Adams signature.
Sorry.
Just get used to it, guys. It's going to be sounding like this for the rest of her life.
Oh, woman.
Okay, next up is Wonder Woman Conan, which I think you have this. It doesn't have a sticky though, but I'm pretty sure you have this one. Okay, so I do have lower price stuff, so don't be afraid that everything I'm going to show is $1 zillion. It just started. I mean, $2,800 for that Batman is a great.
I have this one.
Is a great price. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this one we may not have a pan and scan of, guys. This one is Wonder Woman and Conan. This was a cover for what was it? Metal. Is it Batman metal?
No, it would have to be Wonder Woman metal if it was metal.
Maybe it wasn't the metal. No, the metal one is the one that's dark with the other things. So this is it's a Wonder Woman Conan.
Yeah.
Duh. Sorry, guys. This is a published cover. It is pencil and ink. It lost its tag, so that's why I don't know what it is. But this is published as a piece, as a cover. And we sell this for $18,000. It does come with a COA, and I believe it is signed. But then I'm not seeing it.
I have the Serpent War ones, but I don't have the Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, this one is not signed.
It is not signed.
But he is definitely credited for it, and we would enclose a COA with it, stating it is drawn by Neal. If it's drawn by somebody else, I would love to know who that was, because
We
then
will
I would
hire
rep
him right
them
away.
immediately and make a lot of money with that person. This is $18,000 to buy. It is pencil and ink Neal. A lot of work in the piece. Lots of these lizardy, disgusting things all around them. And we'll just make sure that we get a pan and scan of this so that you can actually see the work better. But this is $18,000 to buy. It is a gorgeous Wonder Woman on here. And she's definitely killing things. So $18,000 for the piece. All right. I'm going to go a different way.
Okay. One of the new ones. Okay.
Yeah, this is the book one. Did he give you the book one?
Yep, I got it.
Okay. So basically, Jason gave this to me today. It's a World's Finest Guardians of Earth book, which I don't know when this came out. Kind of looks like an older book. Let the Battle for Earth Begin. It is a signed book by Neal, but besides the fact that it is signed by Neal, it also has a remark of Superman and Green Lantern. And inside the book, I'm sure there has to be Neal Adams.
Kris is displaying this in Neal Adams fashion.
I am doing it just like Dad. You're right. Just seeing what year this came out. Well, DC was in California, so it's been the last at least 10 years, because I think they've been in California for 10 years. But I can't tell when this came out. But I'm going to put it out there. So this is $800 to buy. And Zeea has a pan and scan of this.
Thank you.
You'll be able to see those remarks really good. So that's what I'm saying. If you go to our YouTube or you go to the Facebook, you'll get to see this better. Because sometimes with the silver marker pens, it's hard to pick up what it is. But it has a very large Superman head and a very large
Green
Lantern head. This is on the cover of the hardcover book. It is $800 to pick up because it has two very large remarks on it by Neal. We will do a certificate of authenticity that would go along with this, stating that obviously they are Neal's remarks. And again, the book title is
World's Finest Guardians of the Earth. Danny O'Neill, Len and Dick Dillon.
Sarah Steiner says, that comic has the most outrageous panel of Superman ever. Spank me daddy is the line, and I'm not kidding.
What?
Now I actually might read this book.
Yeah.
Who was the writer that wrote Spank Me Daddy?
Is that Danny O'Neill?
It might be. So again,
Awkward.
World's Finest Guardians of Earth. I might just buy this book for that.
They did do some weird ass covers. I mean, Sarah posts covers and I'm like, no way.
Well, I know the Krusty Bunker in LA is waiting for Neal's personal collection, which I think is starting to come in now from CGC. And these are all the books that I carried to the hospital for Neal to sign. And I've told you 100 times
Which
already.
was a lot.
Right. Well, yeah, I'm walking into the hospital with like 4 giant shopping bags of comic books.
And then all the nurses give you dirty looks.
Right.
Why are you making
They
your
think
father
I'm
do
torturing
that?
him.
It's like,
And
he makes us break them.
He makes us bring him. And he enjoyed it. And this was what I was telling you that, he's signing. It was a lot of Superman, a lot of Superboys, a lot of Jimmy Olsen's. These are all of Neal's personal old comic books, and even he was like, I don't even remember drawing half of these, and some of them were so ridiculous that the two of us were like laughing out loud about how silly some of the covers were on them. So they are a joy because they are vintage, and I will say, probably within the next couple of weeks, they'll be popping up on the Krusty Bunkers show, which they do the nights I don't do a show. They do a show on, I guess they do a Thursday night and Saturday night. But those will be popping up soon. And those are cool because, like I said, they're the old vintage crazy covers of the crazy balloons. And
See, Dad would let you stay. I was always invited to leave. See, don't you have coloring to do?
because I had work and you would rat them out.
I ratted Dad out to the doctors and nurses. Whenever Dad was like drinking coffee when he wasn't supposed to or something like that, I told the doctors.
Okay. All right. This is Wolverine. I should have gotten. Okay, Wolverine is a pen and ink by Neal. It is $600 to buy. Let me get my tape measure. Ouch.
You got some big old fangs on this one, boy.
Yeah, well, this apparently is the head that Neal designed that then we ended up drawing on. You know when Neal did the Wolverine trading card?
Yes.
And we stuck it in a frame, and then the frame had an original Wolverine on the side?
Yeah.
This is basically the prelim of that Wolverine that went on the side of all of those frames. So, because I was like, wow, that's kind of a nasty Wolverine. It's got big teeth, and Jason said it's the Wolverine that was on the side of those frames. Because I thought maybe this came from Astonishing X-Men, and he said nope. So I'm just gonna turn this for a second to get you like a size. So I would say this is
the focus anyway.
This is probably like 8 by 5. So 8 inches tall by 5 would be the size of Wolverine, give or take. It is a signed piece by Neal, pen and ink Neal. Wolverine. You know who would like this? Aaron White.
Done some chompers though.
Yes. The price on this is $600. A tough looking Wolverine. It's big incisors. So where this comes from again is we had a Wolverine trading card that we drew Wolverine on the frames of it. And this was Neal figuring out how he was going to draw Wolverine to put on those frames. So it is a cool piece. $600 to buy. Pen and ink, original Neal. Okay. Next up is, this is my crazy piece for the night. Because usually Kelly Rusk is like, where's the commercial stuff? So I did find some commercial things. And Jason just came on and said, I think there were 6 frames. This is nice and tight on white paper. Nice. So Benjamin Wyman had a bottle of wine already. And he has my George Jetson. And he has wine. It is. Okay, so what we're looking at is this is a very early Neal Adams animatic test commercial. And how do we know that? Drum roll, please. It is drawn and colored on the same piece of paper. Number 1. 2, limited color palette because he's using barrel markers, which are those old little barrels with the little silver tops.
And the blonde hair is actually inked with the brown pen pen.
And it's inked with a brown. Mostly everything is inked with brown pen.
Well, the flesh of the blonde hair. The rest
no,
is.
Her dress is brown.
Whose dress?
Her dress.
So that's brown line too.
No, black line.
No,
You're
I
right.
didn't think so.
There was a piece I was looking at earlier that he did the whole thing in brown line. So it must not have been the one I picked. So this is a cool piece. I believe the doll that she is playing with is a Chatty Cathy, because there were other frames where she pulls a string from the back of the doll. But I would say this is an animatic from probably, I would bet, 1975, 4, somewhere in there. So it's a vintage piece. It is signed by Neal. We also do have a couple of these pieces. This is not the only piece from that animatic that we have. Actually, there was a woman who bought quite a bunch of these probably 10 years ago because she had a love for the doll. So we have a couple of these left. It is really pretty art. It is pencil, ink, and color, all Neal. Signed by Neal. And again, it's a vintage piece. I will gladly put a certificate of authenticity with this piece, and we are selling it for $200.
That was going to be my next question. Because I didn't see a tag.
Well, I think
earlier.
Jason didn't put a price on it. So original pencil, ink, and color. This is a complete Neal Adams job. I mean, this is almost like very early continuity. Could have been even done in the Bronx. That's how old this is.
Benjamin Wyman says, I feel like a creeper, but I'll claim it.
Oh, cool, Benjamin. It's a really nice piece. It's very adorable, actually. And I will say, as usual, the cameras don't do the color justice on it.
Yep.
So.
Thank you, Benjamin.
But thank you, Benjamin. That was very.
You shouldn't feel like a creeper. It's really cute.
Yeah. It's a really nice piece. See, I thought I was going to say that you stole my thing.
And the doll doesn't look too different from me at like 2.
There we go.
Benjamin says, it is cool and I love Neal's advertising work. Thank you, Benjamin.
Well, Sam, like I said, I have more of these. So. Okay, so Benjamin Wyman.
I was going to say, Benjamin, I didn't realize you were in danger. I haven't seen you claim anything in a while.
All right, for Benjamin. Gotta pull the cameras out. Yeah, okay. There we go.
Woo! Oh,
wow, that was a
rain down on me.
That was a long distance Zeea.
There you go. Nice job, Kris.
Okay, so Benjamin Wyman is a really nice piece of art.
Yay!
Yay! Very nice Neal Adams job. It's actually before Neal got really good with hair.
Oh, but you got the faces though.
Yep. Okay. Next up. Let me go with my 1116. Frankenstein is still here. Now this is a really gorgeous piece with a very large Frankenstein. Frankenstein is probably, I would say, 13 inches on this paper big by like 9.5, 10 inches tall. Even though he's on larger paper, he's 11 by 16 paper.
Yeah.
But he is $3,000 to buy. This is all done in pencil. This is Neal's famous pencil render. That's what everybody says, Sam. If an addiction makes you happy, well, I guess it can still be an addiction. I guess most addictions make you happy.
Mm.
So, Frankenstein looking up at you.
Until you end up in the gutter going, please, one more Beanie Baby. I need another hit.
Well, some Beanie Babies were worth money. Like
That's if you had it in you to sell them.
Well, I don't know. The girls have 2 Princess Dianas.
If it's a proper addiction, you don't have it in you to sell it.
Yeah. Well, I think at times you finally let things go. So again, 11 by 16, Frankenstein by Neal. This is based on his Frankenstein Werewolf Dracula story. Gorgeous pencil work. This is like something you don't see anymore. People don't generally pencil this tight in this industry because they know it's going to be ink. Not that they can't do it, but most people don't do it because it's going to go to an inker. And Neal, when he does this, is basically inking with his pencil as well as penciling with his pencil. So it's that finished illustrative work that you don't see around that often anymore. But really nice clothing work here is amazing. Down shot of Frankenstein is amazing.
You can just imagine like looking out your window, looking down.
Yeah, I would not want that. Or looking down your staircase because you woke up.
You'd be like, oh crap, I made eye contact.
I'm a dead woman. Frankenstein. Okay. What else do I have? If you are a continuity fan, I have a Miss Mystic. I don't know if Miss Mystic made it into Pans and Scans.
She did.
She did? Okay.
Unless it's the remark made it into. She might not have.
What?
I think it was a remark that made it in.
Okay, so Miss Mystic is large. She is also in pencil. A lot of hair there. Signed, it's a signed piece by Neal. Looks like it's on that 9 by 12 paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 by 12, I would say, is the size of this piece. And the price on this is $1,600. So, cute Miss Mystic by Neal.
Pinholes by Kris.
Pinholes by Kris, definitely. Dad may leave coffee, ketchup, or ice cream. I leave pinholes.
Hunter Kris says, oh, that is so just beautiful. What was the price on this one?
16. Yeah, very cute one signed by Neal.
Oscar Fairley says, very nice.
Mm-hmm. And Hunter also seems to like it.
Yep.
Nice. All right. Here's my beautiful Superman. This is a piece that Kris loves. So this is the Superman black and white splat, as we call it. It is 8.5 by 11. It is really nice flying Superman. Nice Hunter. That's pretty cool. So this is an 8.5 by 11 Superman pen and ink by Neal. $3,000. This is one of my favorite Superman pieces Neal has done. Just because it's a cool action pose.
Oh, hey, Dennis Cowan is watching. Hey, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. And the splat work behind Superman is probably Jason.
I can't even remember the last time I saw Dennis.
Is that Dennis? Ooh, now it seems like a long time ago, but
Yeah.
it didn't seem like that long a time ago. But at a convention, he was at some convention. But Dad was at that convention, so that's why I went.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's been a long time. So, I mean, it doesn't feel like you forget that COVID happened, so it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like you haven't been at a convention for a long time because you did take like 2 years out for COVID.
Yep.
So $3,000 for Superman pen and ink Neal splat by Jason.
Splat.
Jason is the official
The
splat.
king of splat.
The king of splat. He excelled in first grade with a toothbrush and ink. $3,000 for Superman. Now, Zee and I have also contemplated if somebody was ballsy enough to want this colored, that this would color up really nice.
And it would.
So this is another one that I would consider color. So $3,000 on Superman. And Phil, congratulations to your daughter. And you. 8.5 by 11 Superman. All right, next piece of art. Knock them out of the park tonight. Batman yelling. Now, anyone who's ever been yelled at by my dad, which is probably mostly Kris.
Oh no, no. Dad was an equal opportunity yeller.
This is an 8.5 by 11 Batman yelling. By Neal. And this is done with pencil, obviously. But again, he's using pencil in different directions as his shading, using ink to ink some lines, but not all the lines. Modeling with his pencil. There's fantastic work on this piece by Neal, obviously. This is a piece that is, I think, really well done, even though it gives me nightmares of being yelled at. Because Dad had good teeth like that.
Yeah.
And Dad can unhook his jaw.
And then the upper lip would disappear.
Yeah. So this brings back a lot of bad memories. For me, not for you guys.
Careful you don't start ticking, Kris.
And it is a signed piece by Neal. So it is $3,000 to buy. It is 8.5 by 11. Really nicely, like all my really nicely drawn pieces are out here tonight. I know I've said that for just about every piece, but I've got to say that every piece I've shown so far is a very nice piece. So $3,000 for Batman. So what is Dennis working on?
I don't know. He's not saying anything. I couldn't even tell you if he's still there.
Just yell at him. Go, Dennis!
Dennis!
Are you still there? They pop on and then they just
I know.
I'm really not here. And then they get mad.
Don't notice me. And then they go, hey, how come you didn't say hi?
Right. I was just curious as to what he's working on. Nine by 12. Okay. So this is a 9 by 12 Superman. Pen and ink by Neal. Price on this is $1,800. And this is kind of based on a more modernized Superman. So you're going to notice the belt is a little different. Probably the way the cape is attached might be a little different. Because I believe Neal did this Superman for when he was working on Coming of the Supermen. And Neal had kind of updated the Superman costuming a little bit. So 1800 pen and ink Superman with a signature, because I know that means a lot to you guys. 1800 is the price on this. For the fist. I'm gonna punch you in the face.
Did you just say about my mama?
Superman would never
We'll
say
kick your
that.
ass.
Superman will never say, I'll kick your ass.
No, you see his hand? Lightning.
Okay, so that was Superman. Superman. Where's that? I found some really cool commercial stuff last week, but then I don't know where it went. Okay, it'll be underlog. Uh-oh.
Chris is using things again.
No, we kind of took it out last week. Well, I'll put this out while we're playing around here. So I have a large Batman. This is a piece I posted today stating we were doing a show tonight. The size of this is 1114. It is an updated Batman, like today's Batman, by Neal. It is $3,000 to buy, and it comes with. Zeea did the color on this. Neal penciled and inked it. It comes with Zea's little color guide before she laid it down.
So you get a Batman and you get a mini Batman.
Mini
There's
Batman.
The one that you put up on the wall, and then the one that goes in the desk frame. What number did we put on this?
3,000. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, you said it before. It's just
No.
it didn't. I was too busy like
Oh, here it is.
trying to zoom in and stuff.
I found it. Found the commercial stuff. This day is Wacky Wednesday. So Wacky Wednesdays, we put out some commercial pieces as well as traditional comic art. So again, this is 11 by 14 piece. It is pencil and ink Neal. It is a sign piece. It has been colored by Zeea. The price on this is $3,000. It's got great lighting on it. That red hits him. Nice job, Zee.
Thanks.
You get Zea's color guide, because Zeea always does a guide before she goes on to Neal's art, because we can't go back and go, Dad, we screwed up this art. Can you redraw it?
Yep.
So, not that we didn't do color guides when Neal was around, but it helps know what you're doing before you go down on a
Boy,
piece
did it
of
drive
art.
Dad crazy that I did color guides on everything.
Right. So,
You don't need to do color guides on everything. Just get it done.
And then I wanted to point out that it actually comes with our older certificate of authenticity that actually has Neal's thumbprint. So it's a real Neal Adams thumbprint on there.
Yep. So if you want to plant a thumbprint on a crime scene,
There it is for
there
you.
it is.
So that's $3,000 to buy.
Neal
So
Adams stole the diamonds.
yes, really nice piece of art.
Of course, I will say, if you can use my dad's fingerprint to steal diamonds, I get a cut. Just saying.
Okay. So, because like I said, it is Wacky Wednesday, we're going to do some commercial stuff.
What you got, Chris?
I don't know.
I don't even know. That's how wacky it is.
Right. This is the one that you and I like had differences of how it was supposed to go.
The order in which it goes in.
Yes.
There was a difference in opinion.
Right.
Well, the black and whites are all over the place because he drew panel 1 with panel 5 and
Right.
like all over the place.
Well, I just want to get this in the order that you thought. I think is.
Well, I left the color in the order that I think it's supposed to go in.
Yeah, but I may have just screwed up your order.
Well, then it doesn't matter now.
Okay. So we're going to show you the color, and then I'll show you the original black and whites.
Yeah. The boat was the first one, but now you're sideways.
I know, because I'm turning.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So do we have pants and skins in this?
No.
Oh.
No, we just mounted them.
I thought we pants and skinned it. No. Okay. So this is a job where, this is the commercial work that we did. This is actually the commercial work we did. All of our coloring is done on copies. So we were able to then blow things up and color them up nicely.
You still have your cardboard?
Yes, I do. My cardboard. I do. For that?
You need that. I think it's over there.
Yeah. Do you want that instead?
Yeah, because it'll stand up a little bit more because it sort of leans back and it fades the color on the top one.
Okay. Maybe this on. No, up right now. How's that?
It's better.
Okay. So the first frame is a pharaoh coming out of the mist. Second frame is
the parade.
the parade. Okay, I'm going to jump to the next frame. Follow closely, guys. Do you think this is the next one?
No, but it's fine.
Well, no, then I can do the one with the boat. You want the one with the boat?
It doesn't matter at this point.
Okay. Then they see what's going on. See, that's what I thought the next sheet was the one that came second. And they go, what?
Now, see, I thought it started with the dock workers working, and then they turn and notice the boat coming out of the mist.
All right, so you want to go this way. You want to go this one first?
Yes.
But then it revealed the boat. I don't know. We don't know what way this truly goes. I had a way it went. Zeea went a different way. So it's whatever way you'd like to put it together.
Interpretation.
Right. So basically these boat guys notice something coming at them and this boat is going by, which this can't be the next one. This has to be it. I'm doing it my way. Okay, Chris's way is I would have opened, sorry guys.
Yeah, that's the one I had first.
With this one, which this one is them obviously working on the boat, pulling in fish, and the guys look back and they see this giant ship heading towards them. Dun 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 dun, like Jaws, basically.
With helicopters and everything.
Right, and then
Which is why this one has the number 2.
it has helicopters and a boat. And then I would have gone to this one. Because then they notice
This one has
giant
number 3
pharaoh. And then we pull into like the parade. Then we go to this one. which they go
Or
dirt, and then they notice that it is
a Texaco.
a Texaco boat. Yay, Texaco. And then they kind of relax.
And they go, all right, it's a Texaco boat. The old guy goes, I figured.
They knew it all along. So again, these are the colored frames of a Texaco job that we obviously did. And then these are the original art frames, which are done smaller.
And one was penciled upside down.
Yeah, well, Neal hopped around on this, which is why we were a little screwed up. But this is Neal's original black and white line. It's a cool job.
Hunter Krampus says, and a lot of drugs may have been taken in the 80s.
A lot of drugs were taken in the 80s, but unfortunately, not of a continuity. Then this is more frames, original art, which are like the faces on these guys is fantastic. The little boat,
The tugboat.
the tugboat, which I don't think we have that in color.
Actually, no, that's the fishing boat.
We don't
Yeah, I
have
don't
that
think
in
we
color.
have that one in color now.
Yeah, so this may have gotten killed. Sometimes that would happen. And then here are the faces where they were relaxing at the end.
Right, so the colors are copies of the color? Right?
I don't remember.
99%
After I
sure.
found these, I don't remember. Yes, these are.
So the color are copies of the colors, but the black and whites are the original inks.
Right, exactly. So what you're getting are color copies of the color and original
Inks.
pen and inks. The price
For
on this
$600.
is $600. For all this confusion. So there's 2 frames there.
Hunter says that is a lot of art for $600.
Yeah. 4, that's 6 frames.
It's a whole job.
9 frames. That is a whole job, correct. Okay, so I'm going to put that over on the side.
One of our viewers on YouTube says, very cool.
Next, I have Thor Unfinished Rough Pencil. I'll put my Texaco envelope. So Zia is going to pull up the pan and scan for Thor.
Oops, I don't think that breaks it. That's not right. There we go.
Okay, so this is Thor. This was Neal laying his pencils out for doing a Thor print for conventions, which he later did. The price on this is $800. So, when Neal goes down on paper, this is what it looks like. He'll be very tight in areas where he's concerned about getting everything right. And then the stuff that he, feels comfortable I can do, he'll do a little looser, like the cape, obviously getting the arm correct in perspective with the hammer was important. Also, those weird metal, I call them the metal dots
The
on
discs.
Thor's outfit. Never looks right, no matter who does it.
Yeah.
And that's also a concern for Neal to get them down right. So the reason why the upper body is drawn more solid than I would say his legs and cape here is because Neal wasn't that concerned that he couldn't handle the legs and cape. He was really working on getting the helmet, getting the arm with the hammer, and the metal medallions that are on Thor's outfit.
Yeah.
So this is Neal's pencil, and the price on it is $800 for Thor. I don't think this is a sign piece because Neal generally doesn't sign his prelims.
You know why he's Thor?
What?
You know why he's Thor?
Why? Oh, that was such a Neal Adams. Duh.
Yeah, but you fell for it at first.
I know. I always
You
fall
just
for it.
caught
My
yourself.
dad does it. I fall for it. So, so yes, this is our print that we did sell, and this is the pencil for it. So this is $800 to buy once again. It doesn't have a signature on it, so we will gladly put a certificate of authenticity with this piece stating it is drawn by Neal. It's a really nice Thor. And that's a character that Neal did not draw too many times. So,
nope.
Okay, next up is an 11 by 14 Hulk. I'm kind of going Marvel DC. Marvel DC.
You're bouncing me around here.
I know. So this is Hulk bending a girder behind his head or over his head. I think it's behind his head. This is 11 by 14. See, is going to pull up that pan scan here, so it'll come in. Again, this is one of Neal's finished pencil renders. Cool Hulk muscles. So again, Neal is texturing his piece with his pencils. It's not just like outlining a pencil to ink, but actually using his pencil as color and ink in a way. It is a signed piece by Neal, and it is $3,000 to buy. And 11 by 14 is, I was going to say 11 by 14 is the price on this. Yeah. It is a total price of $3,000. This can go on the payment plan. Really nice piece here. So does anybody have any questions? No, Kris, we have no
all sorts of
questions.
stuff. We got CGCs. We got CGC sketch covers. We have the Dark Phoenix. We have all sorts of fun things.
Yeah, I can go back to Batman.
Because you can never have enough Batman.
Right. So this is an 8.5 by 11 Batman. Again, this is kind of like one of those prelim-y pencils that Neal did. Now this piece I know he did for the show. We sold it on the show. This is the layout pencil for it. Frankenstein, I think, is signed. Let me see if I can find Frankenstein. I don't know if I'm ready to part with Frankenstein. Actually, Frankenstein is not signed. So it is not a signed piece. But it does come from the Monsters book, which the Monsters book is definitely Neal's book, which I probably have a Monsters book that I can put with it if you're to buy it besides a certificate of authenticity. But it is not a signed piece. So this is Batman with his batarangs. Great face on this one. You give good face.
Good face. Do we have a number on this one?
There should be a number on this one.
Not on the front.
Maybe it fell off. 900.
Okay.
So 900 is the price on this Batman piece. So are people watching the hockey game tonight? Or are we watching basketball tonight?
Yeah, because we only got 13 bodies on.
Yep.
Which is pretty tragic.
Yes. Okay, there's Batman.
What's got everybody distracted?
Yeah. That's what I want. All right, let's see what I got. There you go, Dead Man. Another Dead Man. So I have an 8.5 by 11 Dead Man. Pencil and ink Neal. Color on this is Zeea.
Dad doing the Dead Man flesh.
That's right. This is the one where Neal definitely did the flesh tone of Dead Man. Zeea did the remaining part.
I would not have thought to put pink on there.
Right. So that's pencil, ink, Neal. Color of Dead Man's skin is Neal. The remaining color on this is Zeea. 8.5 by 11.
Got price on it?
Price of this is $2,000. It is a signed piece by Neal. All right, well maybe I'll hop over to some prints.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll do this piece because this piece I did put up as a piece. It's Batman Solo Shadow. Okay, I'm going to put Dead Man to the side. Okay, next up is Batman 11 by 14. Pencil and ink Neal. A very slick Batman. Gorgeous piece of art. Get my price tag off of it. Put it over to the side. Very dramatic Batman. Nice shadow work under Batman. It is a sign piece by Neal. And the price on this is $10,000 to buy. Okay. All right, so I'm going to move on to prints in case it's. Oops. Because we said we would hop around. I also want to remind people that if you go to the nealadamsstore.com, you can hold your copy of the gallery book that is coming out from IDW. Now, IDW has, if I remember right, it was either 3 or 4 covers that they're doing. We have 2 covers that the only place you'll be able to get these covers is here at Continuity. And the print run of our 2 covers is 100 copies each. So there's only going to be 100 of these Superman Kryptonite and 100 of the 251s. The covers that IDW is doing will have a much larger print run. They're more general public buys. So you won't, unless somebody puts one of my copies up on Amazon, you're not really going to see my copies up on Amazon. So if you're interested, because they are going fast, people are paying to hold these come out. These are coming out in October. I heard the first week of October, maybe it'll be the second week of October. But basically we have put up that we are selling these, people are buying them. And then as soon as they come onto our doorstep, we will then start moving these out. But if you are interested in getting either the 251 Neal Adams Classic Gallery book or the Superman Nevermore covers, I suggest you go to the nealadamsstore.com and then hold your copy. So does that make sense to everybody? It didn't make sense to me.
Is this thing on?
I also want you to know that the interiors are not what you see on the covers.
Right.
The interiors of all the books are exactly the same. The only difference of any of the books is their covers. And that the interiors of the books have, I think, 5 interior stories that are all different. And then there's loose pages of different stories. So nobody answered me that they were confused.
No, I don't think anybody's actually listening. I think they just have it on with us on mute.
Okay. They're probably watching games. Because even though the Knicks aren't playing tonight, other teams are playing tonight. We're just in a ton of stuff right now. Baseball, hockey's ending.
Not feeling the love.
No, I know. We're not going to feel the love for a couple of weeks. Okay, so next, so I remember when we would even go through this with Dad, so I don't even take this too personally. Because I remember being with Dad and nobody saying anything, so. Okay, I'm going to do a couple of prints, and if nobody talks to us, then we know nobody's really watching us. Okay, so this is a new print. This is actually a giclée. It is on a very heavy stock paper. It is gorgeous printing. It is a one-off type printing. This is a piece that kind of has the feeling of 5-Way Revenge or 251 in a weird way, and that Neal is pulling elements of it. You have Batman, Joker facing camera. You have the cards in Joker's hands. You are definitely on a New York street. I would say that's Grand Central to the side versus we were kind of in front of it with the Helmsley on 251. Sam Green says he's watching. We sell this for $200. We do put a hologram Neal Adams signature on the back of it because we made these for the last New York Comic Con, so they were not signed by Neal. So this is $200 to buy. It has a very limited run. We did not make many of these. So you would be one of a few that have this giclée. Like I said, it was a New York Comic Con 2023 giclée. Okay, next up is another one. This is 13 by 19 as well. This is based off of a new drawing, kind of a recreation cover of the werewolf story with Batman. Moon of the Wolf. Wow, pulled that out of my butt. This is pencil and ink. Neal, color on this is Zeea.
Yep, and the signature that you see on the print, that is a printed signature.
Right. So again, this would get our hologram signature because once again, this was a giclée from New York Comic Con 2023. Neal was not with us, so we put the hologram sticker signature on the back of the piece.
And this is.
Oh, this is 200. I'm sorry. Now everybody's saying, but we do love you, ladies.
No, it's just Gustavo is the only one saying.
No. So many above Gustavo said it.
That's Gustavo.
The
Navidados.
Oh, is that
That's-
Gustavo?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad Gustavo loves us. So it's probably because Gustavo's not watching the basketball games.
There you go.
No, my
only
nose is
one.
starting.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna sneeze. All right, you're gonna have to talk.
Well, you have to put the cardboard behind because the top gets limp.
Sorry. My sneeze got stuck in my nose.
Don't you hate that?
Yes.
I
Okay.
think it does it on purpose.
This is 13 by 19. This is a painted piece done by Neal for Star Wars, the comic book, which was coming out of Marvel at the time, but somehow something went down between Marvel and the license. So Neal's cover kind of got stuck in the middle of that. So it never really got produced. So this is a painted piece by Neal. It is 13 by 19. It is a print of it. We sell this for $100. Again, this does not come with a signature. We put a hologram Neal Adams signature on the back. But it is a piece that the public never saw till we started selling these prints. At least I think this is one that is inside. I can't tell anymore.
I didn't see one, but
Because I realized we did get some that no, this doesn't have a signature. I didn't think it did. So.
Oh no, Kris. I'm down to my last tissue.
We're gonna have to fight for the tissue sitting.
Yeah, you can have the tissue. I can use paper
I'm
towels.
good.
Because those paper towels are kind of small. Or soft. Small.
Yeah, the tissues are probably rougher.
Oh. Ooh,
My sneeze got stuck in my nose.
I know.
Ugh. It's because it's raining again in New York. So it seems like every night we do a show, it rains. Okay, next up is a 13 by 19. This is Batman. This is a piece that Neal originally did for the Warner Brothers store many moons ago. This is $100 to buy.
Oh boy, man. Focus.
All that, and we're like
Yeah.
giving us like tremendous like loop at the top.
Well, because we have white walls.
Right. So this is a piece that Neal did that they sold at the Warner Brothers Gallery, and they sold that as a very large piece. This is a 13 by 19 of that piece, and it is based on the Batman and the Waiting Graves story. It has those story elements, which is what they wanted. And we sell this for $100. And I only have one of these left. So $100 for Batman. Wow, we're dropping.
Huh?
We're dropping numbers.
Well, you said it was 100.
No. Look at how many people we have left. Wow, talk about turn your backs on us, man. We have thick skin, see. Okay, next up is a Green Lantern. Now, if you're a Green Lantern lover, this is a piece for you. This was a New York Comic Con print that we did for a New York Comic Con.
Tommy Braden says, I'm still hanging out and enjoying looking at art. Well, thank you, Tommy.
Tommy, we'll let you pick a print for the night. Because you're the only person left talking to us. This is 13 by 19. It is the Green Lanterns. Really nice piece. Tommy, you already own this piece. It is signed by Neal. It is $100 to buy.
Zen says he's not on mute.
I don't know if you have this one, Tommy, because this is a rare. I'm just gonna sell to Tommy now. Tommy can have his own private show at this point. Here we go. So this piece, I don't know if you have, Tommy. This is I don't have a lot of this piece, and I don't think we've ever sold you this
He
piece.
says, yeah, that's a cool one with all the lanterns.
No, the lanterns.
She means the Batman one.
This Batman one, I don't think you have. The lantern one you do have. That I know you have. With this Batman one, I don't think you have.
That's it. I'm dying. Maybe if I die on camera, they'll start watching and paying attention.
Yeah, it's the Tommy show. You're right. They toss us aside. No. Sports are on. Okay, next up is a really nice print of Neal's Wonder Woman piece, done in pencil. This is $100 to buy. It is a signed piece by Neal.
Well, we just like to know that people are paying attention a little bit.
Signed print by Neal. Exactly.
Otherwise, we're just like sitting here being dancing monkeys by ourselves.
Right. So this is Wonder Woman Gal Gadot pencil by Neal. Really pretty piece. Gorgeous hair. If you're an artist and you want to know how to draw hair, this is a piece I would pick up.
Tommy said that's a cool Batman with purple background and buildings.
Yeah. So $100 for Wonder Woman. See, Tommy has good taste. What can I say?
Now I feel we should just take over the show with my stuff. Y'all seem to have gotten done with that stuff. I'm taking over.
So the next one up is Conan. Conan is another print for $100. He's on 13 by 19 paper. And what's cool about this is actually, it's a great Conan. This is pencil, ink, and color. This is a complete Neal Adams job, because Neal even colored this himself. And what I love on this piece is actually the background work is amazing on this. I also like the coloring where Neal puts that blue under or over Conan's skin tone. It's kind of cool, the shadowing that he's doing. But the background on this is amazing. And Neal is not a big background guy. Neal usually puts a lot of his energy into telling a story, facial stuff, a pose. And backgrounds are kind of meh for Neal. So he must have been either somebody found a great piece of reference that he really loved.
He was in the right mood.
And he was in the right mood and was relaxing and doing it. So cool piece, $100. Again, it is a print. Oh, this is one of my favorites coming up. This is Neal's pencil for the 27 covers that are, this was inked by Brian Boland in the end. And this was for Aquaman. And obviously it's based on the 251 cover, an homage to the 251. This was Neal's pencil before Brian Boland inked it. And it's Aquaman coming off the card. Oh! With Mantis as the bad guy. Villain. Mm-hmm. A lot of great pencil work in this. $100 to buy. It is 11/17, which is the same size that Neal does his covers at. You know what, Sam? You go away, Sam.
I know he's one of the three
Sam,
people
why
talking
don't
to
you take over the show and you can show us your cover that you own?
There you go.
Okay, next up is Batman. This is one of the 27 covers as well. This is the one that Walt Simonson inked, which is based on a famous Dead Man cover where Dead Man is coming out of Dead Man's body after he falls. Except now we have Batman coming out, which was part of what they were doing with the 27 covers, was changing it up and letting inkers ink Neal. So this was inked by Walt Simonson, and this is Neal's pencil, and this is $100 to buy.
All 100N says masterpiece.
Yeah,
Thank you
nice
for joining us.
pieces. Really nice pieces. Then we have what we refer to as Gothos. This was Joker. And this was inked by Brent Anderson. This is Neal's pencil for that piece. I thought Brent Anderson did a fantastic job on this. Where Batman is, now Joker is. Harley would be the lady in the white running with wicked wolf dogs. So this is $100 to buy. Again, it is 11 by 17. And Victor Savino came on.
Hey, Victor.
I have the wonderful.
Swamp Thing.
No, it's Man Thing.
Man Thing. Swamp Thing, Man Thing.
That's why I stopped myself, because I almost said Swamp Thing. It's like, no, it's the other body guy. It's Man Thing.
The other thing.
The other thing. So this is actually a painted piece by Neal. It is one of his like washy watercolor pieces. And very sexy lady there. A guy who's trying to obviously save her, but is being killed. And
Well, I don't know. Maybe Man Thing is rescuing her from these two guys.
that could be too.
That could be.
So
That's how I read it.
Okay, $100 for this print.
Because I don't see Man Thing as being like somebody that would tear a chick's shirt.
That's true.
So I think he's rescuing her.
Well, you may be right, Zee.
I may be crazy.
You may be crazy, but you may be right. $100 for this piece. Okay, next up is one of our newer pieces that we added. This is that famous convention piece that Neal did with Spectre, Batman, and Deadman.
And Green Arrow.
And Green Arrow, right?
He's in there.
He's in there too.
He's in there too.
This is actually a recreation pencil of that piece. So it's a little different from the actual first time that Neal did this.
He definitely put more oomph in Dead Man's face.
Yeah. This is $100 to buy.
Dead Man is even angrier than he was before.
Yes.
Dead Man needs to go back to Baba Ganoush and meditate.
Baba Ganoush.
He needs to regain his Zen.
Yes. Okay. And then next is we have another 27 cover pencil with Damien and Talia. 11.17 for 100. which I love the meanness of Damien. And it's
Siesta.
great eyes. Talia's exciting. Batman is dead. And Roz is probably enjoying the moment. $100 for this print.
Looking at Talia like, I don't see what you're so upset about. That keeps trying to kill your daddy.
That's true. Really nice pencil by Neal. This one was inked by Bill Sienkiewicz.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
I'm telling you.
Okay. Were you asking me or telling me that one?
I'm telling you.
You want to go up at the end? I'm not sure.
Okay. Next up is I have the Superman Wonder Woman Kiss. This is Neal's pencil. That's $100. And on this one, I have the finish, which was inked by Terry Dotson. So there's Neal's pencil.
Okay.
And then I have the finished cover on that one.
Husky Bunker says, I always loved that piece, but I think he's talking about the one before.
Yeah. This is 13 by 19, so the finished cover is 13 by 19. The pencils we do at 11-17 because that is the same size that Neal drew the original out. So it's keeping it in with what we're doing. Okay, and then my last one for tonight is going to be Marvel versus DC,
With the Adams
13
mouse?
by 19. With the Adams mouse. It's not Atomic Mouse, it's Adams Mouse. Right? Z and I deem that we're actually stealing Atomic Mouse from whoever owns it and making it ours. It is $100 to buy. The size of this is 13 by 19. Adams Mouse with Marvel characters and DC characters against each other. This is a signed print by Neal. $100 is the asking price on this print.
I think we should make an Adams mouse and he wears cerulean blue and a tie.
Ooh, see, we should do that. That's a cool idea.
Make an Adams mouse.
Let's make an Adams Mouse.
We can even give him Dad's hair.
We could. Then he would actually look like one of the Alvin and the Chipmunks kind of dad's hair for a while.
Well, I will say Dad drew Atomic Mouse cuter than Atomic Mouse was.
Yeah, well, Atomic Mouse is kind of more Mighty Mouse-ish in a way.
Yeah.
And he kind of elongated Atomic Mouse.
But he also made
It's
him
not
like,
a
he's
squat.
like fluffy.
Yeah. Oh, that is good.
It's like, that's a mouse I would not bash his brains in.
Well, it's interesting. I have to bring in, because I found these drawings by Dad, and I was talking to Courtney about them, because on the back of the paper, Dad wrote the address where he was living. And it just didn't make sense to me because the drawings were really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured, but Dad was living in Coney Island, so how could he be living in Bushwick? And then Courtney, because Courtney did the original interview of Dad, where she did that big project on Dad.
Right.
And she said, no. He lived in Bushwick before they left to go to Germany.
Yeah, and then they came back.
And then they came back and moved to Coney Island,
Right.
which means that these drawings he did, which are really like nice,
He was pretty young.
Yeah, he was like, I think he was like 11 when they went to Germany or something like that. I'd have to listen to his Patreon of how old he was when he
Where's
went
Courtney's report?
to Germany. It was a big oral report. It's how she got out of Sarah Lawrence.
But where is it?
in her head. I don't know where it is. She had tapes too. So now they're all going to be like, can we hear the tapes? I don't know what happened to those tapes. I have a feeling we reuse those tapes for commercial work. But Courtney knows a lot. It was the first time Dad drove and started talking about his dad.
Well, you know who's going to try to contact Courtney now and get an interview.
Yeah, I know. So, but he'd have to watch our show.
Oh! Yeah.
Watch that, and James Rose is going to come on and go, I'm watching your show. I'm all the people you think you talk to all the time.
Hello, Leland and Lucia on YouTube. How are you?
So anyways, I think we're going to close out the show tonight because I don't feel like I'm winning here on any level. Z and I are going to be at CradleCon, which is
at the Cradle of Aviation in Long Island here in New York.
We're there Saturday and Sunday.
And some of the doodles that I will have at the show are actually behind Kris, which is the Deceased cover, which is my first work
I
on.
didn't know you had covers behind these.
Well, this is the first cover that I've done on a color paper cover because I've never done that before. So I was like, let me give it a go. So I used Dad's Zombie Batman as reference.
Well, actually, Z and I on a lot of days are the only two up here.
That's right.
We should tape our conversations because.
Wow, yeah, no. You need a film crew in here for that because we have some weird conversations.
Zia likes to roller skate around the place.
Yep, I brought my skates in. And then Kris goes, I like your pink skates. I'm like, they're not pink, they're red. She goes, no, they're pink. I'm like, all right, yeah, they're pink, but I'm going to turn them red.
So this is Zia's Batman zombie on Deceased.
Yep.
And she's
I'll be
doing
that
it
with me.
She's doing it in her
voodoo doll style.
I always want to call them pincushion dolls.
Pincushion. It's basically
so, Batman. Your dad told he lived in in Germany.
Kaiserslautern, yeah.
K-Town. Yep. Yep, you did. Okay, this is you, right?
Yep. There's 4 doodles there.
Well, Zia's busy doodling, so you're going to color these up, or what are you doing?
I'm going to color these up.
So she has...
Try to color them up in time, otherwise they're going to have to go black and white.
She has...
Princess Leia.
Princess Leia from Star Wars.
That's going to be a lightsaber pin.
Oh, that's cool. And then you have Luke. So you're making the lightsaber a pin?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then...
Then we have Gingy.
The gingerbread man. That's because I sent a picture of my gingerbread Lego to Zia.
Yep. Okay, I'll do Gingy. And then stitch back together.
Right, because somebody bit his leg off.
Well, he got tortured, remember, by, what's his name?
And then you have
And then Mario! Actually, Jade saw this, and Jade was like, Mom, you gotta finish this. I'm like, okay.
And she's gonna buy this one.
Yeah.
So, we're at CradleCon this weekend. Wendy Peeney is basically the star of the show, if anybody is in Long Island. Wendy Peeney and her husband are going to be there. And they actually have pulled her Red Sonja costuming out of storage, and they did a huge display of her Red Sonja because part of what they're doing at this convention is honoring cosplay. And there's a big cosplay division of this, of this convention, as well as there are artists there, obviously, and what every other convention has as well. But what's cool is they do have Wendy and her husband, Richard.
Yep.
And they're doing a big celebration of Wendy. They're celebrating because she was the first cosplayer, as well as being a creative in the industry and one of the first independent creatives who created her own thing. Like I said, they're pulling out the Red Sonja costume. They did a video of little snippets of Wendy at different ages and how she creates costuming. And she loves costuming. She still goes to these massive costume.
She does the labyrinth ball.
Yeah. And she creates and designs and
sews
amazing. All her stuff. Yeah. So she's still into it big time.
She's a bit like Dad, where I'm like, when did you have time to do that?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
You're doing a million other things.
So if you're interested in that, I would say it's a good weekend. Supposedly it's going to rain and be a crappy weekend this whole weekend. So why not go to?
Aviation is cool to go to.
Yeah, because it's got airplanes and rockets and all kinds of stuff.
And you can even sit in the cockpit. Right.
Hanging above us, around us. God only knows. Z and I will get in trouble doing something.
I'll get stuck in it.
Actually, what we should do is videotape us there.
We'll do that Friday.
We'll just keep posting up Facebook craziness of Wendy and
the adventures of Kris and Zeea.
Right, Zeea actually did the voiceover for the video of Wendy Peeney that they did. So it's going to be fun. It's a little different for us. It's not so hardcore what we normally do at conventions, but we're going to be there. So if you are in town,
and then we have the Legends panel.
Yeah, Z and I are on a panel of how do you keep people who have passed away in the industry still vibrant and out there. So Z and I are hoping that maybe we'll actually learn something.
Yeah, because we're still a bit fresh
panel because we're like the newbies on the block. But the Frazettas have people that are there from their family. Mark, now his name went out of my head, Greenwald, his wife is going to be there.
Yeah.
And so it should be interesting. I think it's going to be it's really, what they're trying to do is make a different type of comic convention. I think this was aimed to be more like a show in a way and not so hardcore.
A little bit more immersive.
Yeah, not so hardcore Comic-Con. Like a different twist to a Comic-Con. And I think this is like the little baby that's going to have a lot of problems.
It is just hatching.
But it's going to hatch something possibly new for the industry, which I find interesting, which is why I'm going.
That's right.
So if you're around, we're going to be there. So we will not have a show on Friday. If you see this video and there's stuff you would like to purchase, all you have to do is direct message us. We answer everybody that sends us can you pull this for me? Sure, I can. If there's anything you would like to buy, you can just direct message us. And most of the time we do know the prices. The prices are definitely on our videos.
Yep.
So you can purchase anything you want before the next show comes on, which will be next Wednesday. And then Z and I are around forever. We're not going anywhere for a while. So we'll be back to our Wednesday, Friday spots, unless we get sick again. So Z and I are going to say goodnight to everybody. And thank you for watching. Those who did, I know there's a lot of activity out there right now. I know we have a lot of baseball, a lot of basketball, and a lot of hockey all going on at once. And even I last night was glued to the set watching the Knicks. So we're going to say goodnight, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.